All right. So I think we're live, and we are reviewing from in Brandon Sanderson's Rhythm of War from not pages, but chapters 61 through to 72, and then the interludes that follow. So at the end of this, we'll be up to part 4 of the book.
Correct.
So yeah. So not much earth-shattering happened in this section of the chapter. We're pretty much this section of the book. We're kind of still in the same bit of story that we were last time, I think. But I guess a few things that were going to happen before they happened. So I felt pretty good about myself while reading it. Yeah. So So at the end of the last time we did this, I was blabbing on about one of the quotes mentioning sand at the start.
Yeah.
So that's how we kick off chapter 61. So you don't need to read the quote. It's just talking about sand. But I did some research on the world where White Sand takes place, which is the graphic novel. So it's a tidally locked planet in a binary star. So it's kind of like Tatooine from Star Wars, I guess. And it doesn't turn. So the investiture on this planet comes from the actual sun itself, which is then absorbed into microflora on the sand. So when the sand is fully invested with the magic, it goes white. And then when a sand master comes along and uses that sand, it then goes black. So
right.
Yeah, and apparently the.
Did you read this in?
I read this in just.
Did you read all this in Arcania?
Yeah. So I didn't do a full read through. I read sort of the intro to the world, and then I read the little comic book that goes with it.
Yeah,
but
that's the one I've read.
Yeah, there's another like text sort of chapter that I kind of got halfway through, and then I was like, nah. I kind of know what's happening, so I can make up stuff as opposed to knowing it for real. Yeah. So the shard in this world is called autonomy, and apparently autonomy is an isolationist, which is in contrast to her interference on other planets. So that part was kind of interesting. So is she interfering in Roshar right now, is what I thought when I read that part.
Yeah.
So that's the brief white sand part.
Yeah, how cool.
Yeah. So in this chapter we've got Navani talking to Kaladin about stalling the process, just making sure she can have some more time to work out what to do.
Yeah. She says Kaladin did a good job, and Kaladin's happy to hear it.
Yeah, and she's pretty keen to
slide.
Go on.
Lest he slide into his sadness again.
Yeah, anything to keep him out of the sadness.
Yeah.
Which he's been doing. He's kept out of his sadness pretty well. So
he's doing good.
We're on the rebuild at least. So she's pretty keen to get him that the Infinity Gauntlet, the flying glove thing.
Yeah, no, definitely call it the Infinity Gauntlet. I love it. I've been calling it that in my mind ever since you said it at the beginning.
Yeah. And I imagine exactly what the Infinity Gauntlet looks like, which I think is probably cooler than what this thing actually looks like anyway. So, So they're doing some experiments with the Fused are doing some experiments with that force field in this bit as well. And one of the Warform has like Elocor's shard blade.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
They chopped away at it. Yeah, no, that'll do.
And then it kind of grew back. No, I'm always interested to know how you pronounce these weird names though, mate, because that's definitely made up the top of my
I'm trying
head.
to find it written. That's Navani's son, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I say something like that. I'm just trying to see if I can see the word. Elocor. Yep.
Sweet. So they can't cut the force. Well, they can cut the force field, but it grows back, kind of like replenishes itself. And this is also where Ravenel shows Navani the diamonds with the life light in them.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, actually, it's not life light; it's the mixture of life light and storm light, I believe.
Yeah, and is that the tower light, or is the tower light something else again?
I think that is the tower light. I think
that is the tower light. Yeah,
is a mixture of life light. There's 3 types of light.
And storm light.
They seem to be talking about. Yeah. So that's the first that was revealed. I don't think they've even mentioned life light once before, have they?
No, I don't think so
either.
Not that
I can remember.
But Lift has something to do with that because she eats the food. She gets her stormlight from food.
Well, she also gets it from stormlight, so she can get it from food.
She gets both.
She can also get it from stormlight. So I presume she can get it directly from lifelight as well. And they do mention, it might not be in this chapter, but they do mention about how Lift draws on lifelight as well.
Yeah.
So Ravenel enjoys the oil and water mixing for a super smart little person. She doesn't seem to be able to get that. Like, it's just like, how don't you understand this? This is heaps easy. Like, I've thought about this for less than 1 minute, and I understand perfectly what's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was funny too, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as Ravenel enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's impossible to mix these two things, and the man is like, no, here it is.
Yeah. Just because they don't mix it doesn't mean that they are the opposite either.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
magnets. With magnets, it's the exact opposite to that, actually. It's like the two parts that are the same can't mix, right? Like, you can't push 2 positive sides of a magnet together.
Yeah.
So, batteries, it's like, it has to be lined up as a positive and negative. Like, electrical circuits have to go in a circle, not the same way. But anyway, it was... it
was good. I enjoyed a bit of Brandon Sanderson chemistry, and I hope we get more.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, awesome. Right. Yeah, and then Navani speaks some more to the tower, which is whinging a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, it's like,
Navani's like, I want to help you, just please, I want to help you. And the tower's like, nah, fuck off.
Yeah, well, it's more like,
I don't trust you. Nah. I need help, but I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah, I just imagine everything it says in a cryy voice for some reason.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Help, Kaladin, help.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. So now 62, we're back in time again.
Yeah, and really nothing happens in this except Ashoni and Venli are hanging out with the elders, and they want their mum to transform because their mum's like going crazy. Like she's got dementia.
Like dementia or something. Yeah. So they think if she gets one of these awesome forms that'll stop or even reverse the
dementia. Yeah.
We'll call it dementia. Yeah.
No, it is.
So
let's call it exactly dementia.
Call it space.
Every time when I read it, it reminded me of have you ever seen honest trailers on YouTube? They're just like
some of them,
yeah. There's an awesome one for Armageddon where it's like welcome to Michael Bay's world of space, where explosions happen in a vacuum. It's got stuff blowing up in space. Michael Bay works at NASA because he's in there as an extra working at NASA. And then it goes,
oh, really?
And then it goes, and space dementia is a real thing. And everyone just keeps saying he's got space dementia all the way through Armageddon.
That's great.
Yeah. And then it also cuts to like Ben Affleck's actual commentary from the DVD. And he goes, at this point, I asked Michael Bay, wouldn't it be easier to teach astronauts how to drill something than teach drillers how to become astronauts? And that's his Ben Affleck's actual commentary. And,
That's
Michael
actually
Bay
good.
just told him to fuck off.
That's great. And they've got it in the Honest trailer. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's very funny. Okay, so that's pretty much chapter 62.
That was sick. Yeah.
All right, so
63 has another sand quote that I'm sure you're loving.
It does. So this is where it sort of says it's not the sand itself, but it's something that grows on it. So that's what it was saying about the sun goes onto the flora that's on top of the sand, and that's what gives it the magic.
Right.
That I read before. Yeah.
And so the last quote before that, are we talking about why we're talking about sand? Do we know why they're...
I still don't know.
They're talking about the sand planet?
Nah. All I can guess is that she has whoever's talking's got some sort of insight into the other worlds now, and is kind of just like doing a little bit of research on the different magic systems that exist, maybe.
Yeah. This is a Caleb chapter.
Yeah. So what's he doing? He's having some more...
Having his nightmares.
Yeah. And Dabbitt's already left to go get gems.
Yeah.
No, he's left good gems behind, actually, I think.
And the gauntlet? Has he got the gauntlet here?
Yeah, I think he's taken that with him. Maybe.
Yeah, so here he's got the gauntlet.
Oh, no, he turns up with the gauntlet, right? Yeah. And he's also, because he's got the good gems, I thought maybe he's the bondsmith.
Yep.
You know how Dalliner can just fill up gems, because it doesn't explain how he got them filled up.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't. It kind of just Kaladin thinks briefly, like, I wonder how.
Yeah.
I wonder where he got these gems from, but he just thinks he stole them from a lantern or something. But you're right, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not him, because, it's like, maybe having a mute character won't be too bad, because then we'll get some action from them. Like, if they're not allowed to talk according to the script, then maybe we get more action. But he's not somebody I'm hoping becomes the bondsmith at this stage.
No, he's a bit of an imbecile.
Yeah.
Sort of just, but I like that. I do enjoy coming up when he goes off to like try to do stuff on his own. Because Kaladin's sleeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kaladin talks to Navani about the Infinity Gauntlet.
That's right. Yes.
And
and he goes to go practice with it as well, explicitly, right?
Yeah. So then he takes it off to the hallways and rocks around with it for a while, which is cool.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the practice scenes. I thought that was pretty fun. How he
I kind of I was kind of hoping he broke it straight away when he breaks his hand.
Yeah. Is the Stormlight starting to heal him slowly by this stage?
Yeah. I think he's noticing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay, and Syl sort of explains why she might be sad as well, because way back in her interlude, she asked Dalliner to help her remember her previous night, so she talks a little bit about that too.
Yeah. To Kaladin.
Yeah. All right, so I don't really have much more from that one.
No, that was pretty much that one. He practices with the gauntlet, and we can see where it's going. He's going to be able to fly again.
Yeah. All right.
So 64, more sand.
A little bit more sand.
The sand originated off-world.
Yeah. So the person writing this is on Roshar, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the sand is not from... Yep, you go.
I am unable to leave the Rosharian system, but it is a priceless object nonetheless.
Okay, so the person writing it is stuck in Roshar.
Yeah.
Somehow. But they've got hold of the sand, which is clearly from like the sand on white sand world. So he's really weaving in all the books. Like we've had.
Yeah.
The only one we haven't really had is Atlantis yet, and that's the one where they.
I haven't read that.
They draw in the air maps.
Right. Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting. You get this disease where it makes you immortal, but it also means you can never heal. So if you bump your foot, it hurts like you've bumped your foot for all eternity.
That's pretty horrible.
Yeah. It's certainly a large price to pay for
immortality
living forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
This one's Jasna.
Yeah, this is a great chapter, actually. Yeah, it's a great chapter. So, I have some questions as we go along with this. So, it talks about Jasna being in her plate. Is that radiant plate or is that just regular shard plate? Do you know?
I think I don't know. I didn't think of that. I was thinking regular shard plate, but I forgot. What's radiant plate again?
Well, we haven't really come across it yet. So I just wondered if
that's what Kaladin, we were talking. Yeah, we were already talking about Kaladin getting this. I don't know. I didn't even think of that. Her plate with a capital P.
Yeah, and it does stuff like she can see through the guard, but I can't remember if you can just do that with shard plate anyway.
I think Dalinar was doing that in the first book and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting if it is the special super plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she starts off wanting to fight heaps. She doesn't want to use any powers because she wants to be a normal soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Or she wants to experience war like a normal person, which is good on her. But then she realizes that it's better to use all her powers. Yeah. And I forgot about her powers, how she can do the whole Shadesmere thing.
Yeah, because that's how she escaped being killed when you thought she died super early in a piece.
Mm-hmm.
She does soul cast. She can basically soul cast is her radiant power, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, she changed the air to oil and then lit on fire. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of her fight scene, that fight scene was pretty awesome. I reckon he writes a good fight scene.
Yeah, he does.
Like pretty grimy, lots of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Just stabbing at things, killing lots of baddies. So that was good.
Yeah, chopping them up, making their eyes burn out.
Yeah, yeah. So she fights that fused as well, who's they called him magnified or something, and it can grow the carpus really.
Yeah, he grew axe hands. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. I think that was the first time we've seen those.
Yep. Yeah, I don't remember hearing about that before.
No, I reckon that's the first one of those we've come across. What else? Oh, yeah, her plate howls in pain. So is that it actually howling, or is that it just making noise from being hit? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I think I missed that. Yeah, you saw you were reading a lot more into this plate than I was.
Well, I just didn't know.
I would have.
So
I would have kind of just thought the second thing is the latter there, but I like what you just said.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it. I was more just I just don't know if that's what it is or not.
Howl in pain.
Yeah, so, because, I mean, that can just be a door can howl in pain if it's squeaky.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That doesn't really mean that much, but it's also pretty descriptive. You wouldn't really say that.
It's a weird use of words. Yep.
So, anyway, that's another thought on that. So maybe if we can keep an eye on Jasna's shard plate or what people say about Jasna's shard plate. Because nobody says anything about it being radiant plate, or Sanderson doesn't say it's radiant plate either, which I don't think he would just I don't think he would leave that for a surprise given that she is wearing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
And her and Wit talk again about the sleepless. What are the sleepless again?
I don't know exactly. I think they're like Kremlings that have a bit more
awareness.
Yeah. So I think that's what they are.
Not
Not
only
100%
recently
on that, but yeah, but that's like his that's when they're talking about his pen being a spy. Like his pen might have been made out of like bunches of little Kremlings.
Mm-hmm.
And this is super interesting as well. So he talks about how the leader of the Ghost Bloods, Thydaka or whatever his name is, which says he's met him many times on multiple times on multiple planets before.
Yeah, and Jasna knows of him.
Yeah, and then says he's not Rosharian. So that's pretty kick-ass as well.
Yeah, so none of the Ghost Bloods are Rosharian, or they're not an organization from Roshar.
No.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my favorite chapter in this section, I think.
All right, 65.
Yep. I didn't mention the quote here, so I assume it's like...
no, it just talks about the existence of God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no fun there.
And this is Navani. Now we're going into more science experiments. This is Light. She's making a camera. She's doing her pinhole cameras. I liked it though. Fracturing the light and then fracturing it again and sort of building it back up.
Yep, through those prisms, right? And some of the lights acting differently.
Yeah, and yet again, Ravenel comes in and is just astounded once more. Blown away by Navani's like intelligence.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I actually haven't written much more down for this except for that crazy fuse that's always hanging out.
Yeah, with Ravenel.
Yeah, so that's Ravenel's daughter. That's right, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think she revealed that at the end. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so unless you got anything else on that one, or can we jump to 66?
No. Yep.
All right, so I've got read the quote. So that's directed at you, my man. Read that.
Okay. I am not convinced any of the gods can be destroyed. So perhaps I misspoke. They can change state, however, like a spren, or like the various lights in capital. This is what we seek.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what I was going to say about that, to be honest. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it was just because I thought that sounded like something Navani would write, given that she's the one studying light at the moment.
Yep.
That might be it. All right. So Dalinar's working a little bit more on his bondsmith powers. And he goes to see Taravangian in jail.
Yeah, I love Taravangian.
Me too. Taravangian's great. He's got some...
Which is amazing because every time I sort of just start reading with Taravangian, I'm like, oh, Taravangian. But then I love it.
Yeah. No, he's good. So he's like...
And Taravangian figures out who Seth is immediately.
Yeah, he looks at him and understands straight through the light weaving thing, doesn't he? And he also reveals that he's met cultivation before, which is why he is smart sometimes.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah. What else? He doesn't think Dalinar can beat Odium, but Dalinar kind of just says, "We'll stay alive long enough, and we'll see if I can or not." Yeah. And Seth's just like, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a good chapter.
Yeah, it's fun because ultimately you get Dalinar, Seth, and Terra Jim all in those chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like 3 of my top 4 characters.
Yeah. All together.
Yeah. I mean, the Pursuer is fun, but not a lot of dialogue from the Pursuer.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, chapter 67.
Yeah.
So
the quote is interesting. It's "Do not mourn for what has happened. The notebook was a dream we shared. This is itself a beautiful thing, proof of the truth of my intent, even if the project was ultimately doomed." I can't remember now. I should have written it down. I thought someone was seen writing in a notebook in an earlier chapter, and now I'm trying to remember. I know I need to write things down.
Yeah,
it was Wit. That's who it was. It was Wit.
Oh, that might be in a later chapter, actually. Maybe.
Ah,
if Wit comes up again, maybe it's in a bit later chapter. Or if not, that also means...
But you noticed that too? Jasna walked into a room and Wit was like writing shit down and then he put it away.
Yeah, he was writing it in heaps of different languages because obviously he's from somewhere else, so he can do that.
Yeah.
No, I remember him doing that, but I didn't make a note of it either. That might have been in the chapter just before that we were talking about.
I think so. Yeah, because when I read this the first time, I just read then, I remember thinking about Wit.
Yeah. So is Wit writing this stuff to someone, maybe?
Maybe. To someone, yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, interesting. Is he... Because he knows about the Santa stuff, isn't he? He's like not...
Yeah.
He's not amazed by it.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's Wit.
Yeah. Just because he would... Just that bit, he was writing in a book. It might have been around that time that he talked about his pen being spied on.
Yeah. So do you reckon the notebook he shares is with the spy that just knows about it? Or is it with someone else that it's meant to be?
Yeah. Don't know. But I'm suspicious.
Yeah, okay. No, I like it. That's good. I completely knew that he did that, but I didn't make a note either, so that's a good point to bring up. All right, so
this is a Bentley chapter.
Yeah, and she's talking to the tower now as well.
She talks to the tower, yep.
Yeah. So the tower knows that she's... what have I written here? I've written something that doesn't make sense. I've written the tower knows she is using building. So I don't know what that means. Stormlight, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just an autocorrect.
Yeah, well, this is... Yeah.
So I'm doing these notes on my phone, so I do like the swipey way you text.
Yeah.
When you don't actually touch the buttons. So it just makes up... Every time it says Navani, it says Navajo here, but now I know who she... Now I know who she is for long enough, so... anyway,
I like that.
Yeah,
this is where she makes her hands go into the rock, like, or she can shape the rock.
Yeah, she can just mold it like clay, basically.
And she loves it.
Interesting. Yeah, and she goes back in time to the Dawn Singers as well, and she sees like the original Parshendi people building a society, and then just making bowls with their hands, and like they just dip a stick into the ground, and it comes out as an axe.
Yep.
And then I think 3 new Spren turn up just to bond with Venley's friends as well.
Yep, that's right.
Yes, that was a pretty interesting chapter, actually.
Yeah, that was a lot happening for a Venley chapter.
Yeah. All right, so...
And now we go back in time.
Yeah.
And Ashoni gets a war form.
Yeah, which is cool. She goes with the mother, and her mother doesn't get the form, but Ashoni does.
Yeah, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of other ones that got transformed as well.
Yep. And then they go off to fight.
Yeah, which is I was loving that, how that that group of them turned up to fight just at that point in time. You'd be so annoyed if you were the other ones. Like, fuck, why?
Yeah. And then they go and get their shards because they're like, why, we got to go to war now. We might as well be using our shards.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So it was good. That was a fun chapter. I like how they didn't actually go into didn't fight the others that turned up, and she just said, just adopt the form as well, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which you'd be pumped about if you're the people that turned up. I don't know how much you'd have to think about that. Just be like, fuck. Sure. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a pretty awesome picture in my mind that I'm not sure a TV show or movie would ever live up to as to what I think the Parshendi look like.
In their war form?
Yeah, or just in most of the forms. Like, I reckon the Parshendi, like, he makes a good mental picture of what they look like with their patterns on their skin, and how they grow their armor out of themselves and that kind of stuff. But yeah, all this stuff will make an awesome TV series / I reckon a fun video game, like a role-playing game as well.
I was actually in an EB game shop the other day, and they had a board game of Stormlight.
Did they? Wow.
Yeah, I meant to tell you this in our last one, but I forgot about it.
Wow. Now that would be the nerdiest thing ever, for you to sit down and play that and film that and put that on YouTube.
I'll look for it again next time I'm in the city.
Yeah, see how much it costs, because if it costs more than $10, I'm out.
Definitely costs more than $10.
Yeah,
I can't remember anymore.
I couldn't get that one past Sophia, mate. She was using my phone. She was using my phone the other day, and she happened to stumble into my notes, and she's like, "What is this? What is this?" Oh, such and such's hair has come to life, and she is riding on a horse. Like, she's giving me shit.
That's so great.
For so long. Like, she laughed so hard she couldn't give me shit for a bit. Like, she was just.
Does she ever listen to this?
No.
Like from the other room or something?
Oh, no. I don't think she'd be able to hear us. So.
No. That's funny. Chelsea came in and closed the door the other day.
Oh, because you were talking too loud.
Oh, she could hear it, I guess.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Hilarious. This one is 69, and it's a Navani 69. Chapter.
Yep, and I leave you.
It's a very short little quote. Yeah.
I leave you to note.
I leave you now to your own company.
Okay. Yeah. So now was not note. That's another predictive text.
Yeah.
So, So what? That's the last letter, is it?
Yeah, I guess so.
The rest is it actually expresses as like final page or end note.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. So this is Navani doing more experiments with tuning forks now.
Yeah. So she's worked out there's like those 3 pure tones, one that represents each type of light. There's like the different scales of music, where some parts have it as like a 10 scale, others have it as a 12 scale, that kind of stuff. So she talks to the tower about it, and the tower is like, no, there's only 2 tones of Rosha. The tone of Odium is like an interloper type tone. Yep. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. I wonder where Odium came from originally. Like, I wonder if that's going to be a book in and of itself, where where he was a shard in a different world, sort of thing, and what happened there. What is it? Navani's hustling the tower for some information.
And she offers to bond him to the
Parshendi guy,
Parshendi guy, and she likes it. The tower is like, I would, but the wall's up, so nah.
Yeah. And she, the tower tells her where the node is, right, and then instantly the node is getting attacked.
So no one else seems to realize as quick as I did, and I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah.
Right at that moment, that obviously Ravenel is hearing everything they're saying.
Yeah.
But that was cool. Cool way to reveal that.
Yeah. It was my next note. I was just like, is someone listening to the tower? Question mark.
Yeah.
Question mark. But yeah. So yeah. At this point, I would just try to get out of the tower. It's like the tower's not that good, is it? Let's be honest. Let's get out of here. This tower is just can't keep its mouth shut. It's constantly, revealing secrets.
Yeah.
So, chapter 70.
Opposites of sound. Sound has no opposite. It's merely overlapped vibration, the same sound. But sound has meaning. This sound doesn't, at least. Mm-hmm. These sounds, the voices of gods.
Yeah.
So and that's the final page.
Yeah, that's the one where it says final page. So it's I might agree with that. I might agree with that one. I agree with it more than the opposites can never mix type stuff that was going on. But I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, there really is no opposite to sound. Silence is not the same thing. It's just exactly as it says. So well played, Brandon.
Kaladin's having nightmares again, of course.
Yep. So that's
and he wakes up, and I like how Dab had tried to wake him up, and then took the gauntlet and a spear, and was going to go save the tower.
Yeah.
And Kaladin runs after him, and goes, "Nah."
Yeah, I did find it super convenient that he was only at the first step
around the corner.
So I was just like, you couldn't have tried to wake him up once more, like just once more, and it probably would have happened, right? Like, what were you doing? You must have just like whispered at him or something. But anyway, I did like how he was willing to do it as well. But thought it mighty convenient that that's what happened.
Yeah. But obviously this chapter was going to be awesome, and was. Kaladin straps on his gauntlet and flies around, and everyone thinks he's got his powers back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really well written, as we would expect.
Yeah.
As he flies over the market and then dives down into the well, fights Leshway for a little bit, but she knows something's a bit wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing.
And he still can beat the Fused.
Yeah.
No, the Fused. The Terminator, is shit. Kaladin beats him every single time.
Yeah. The Terminator talks a mad game, but can't really back it up with anything.
No, not at all. So Kaladin can beat him with anything he has in his hand.
Yeah. So, less and less scared of the pursuer as we go on. But he does leave some good lines, like he's talking about how he's going to find the next Radiant that forms the Spren, and going to kill that one as well.
Yeah. But that's gonna that's the wrong thing to say to Kaladin, because Kaladin loves to that would make him mad.
Yeah.
Because that would make Syl more sad, and Kaladin doesn't want that.
No. If anyone's allowed to be, the only person allowed to be sad is him at this point in time. It turns out. Mm-hmm. But it was cool how he works out that plan to challenge Leshway so that everyone holds back, including the pursuer. Interesting how he uses it to blast down through the well. That was kind of cool.
Oh, that was awesome. That was really good.
Yeah, and Ravenel was down there.
Then he gets locked in the well.
Scuba diving somehow. Yeah. What was that about? So I didn't realize we had scuba diving tanks. Like, I just imagined it down there with like a welder. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I imagined too.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm just like, hang on a minute, you can't do that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then they lock him in there. That was the trap.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I was like, ooh, that's fucked. Don't know how he's going to get out of this. And then he just went deeper.
He uses his glove. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finds his way out and runs into the storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we know he can survive the storm.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
Yeah. He is the storm. So,
yeah,
he'll survive that. No worries. And it was weird that he was in the well. The well is pretty significant in Mistborn novels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One of them was called like the Well of Ascension, but I'm going to keep assuming we're just on a different world to Mistborn anyway. So, but also I thought, because you know how you can travel through Shadesmere and pop out somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can, Dalinar's talking about going through Shadesmere to get to the tower and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So perhaps Shadesmere works from different planets as well, in which case that might be the same well as the one in Mistborn.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't think of that, but I was wondering if Shadesmere, why we haven't had it mentioned in any other books.
Yeah. But they might just call, like, he does a lot of stuff where he calls it different things.
Yeah, and that's fair enough.
Yeah, so maybe it's just called the, I think it's the physical realm is where everyone is. The cognitive realm is Shadesmere. And then there's the spiritual realm where all the fucking gods and stuff live, or where you go when you die, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
On to 71.
71. Quote, read it. But
right. Voice of lights, voice for lights. If I speak for the lights, then I must express their desires. If light is investiture, and all investiture is deity, and deity has intent, then light must have intent.
There you go.
Yeah, that was quite the rant.
It was. Makes sense though. Makes sense in this world, and especially like I think these the Stormlight books more so than the other ones as well. Like there's a spren for everything, so it's just like everything's got life. You know, the chair has spren, the tables have spren. Fucking, you know, every emotion has a spren that comes out. If you get tired, there's spren.
There's spren,
yeah. So that kind of makes sense, and that's the one where it says final page, I think. So, all right. So in this one, Dalinar has a bit of an argument with the Stormfather, but then becomes the storm, so to speak.
Oh yeah, he rides up in front of the storm and goes to the tower.
Yeah.
I tried to use the map in this bit, but I got a bit
lost.
First I got confused, then I was all right. Yeah, he rides the storm. That was cool, and then he learns that Kaladin's out there, doesn't he?
Yes, he sees him, basically.
Yeah.
So does he see him when he flies back, or he flies back to see what's going on in the tower, and then
he wants to see what's happening in the tower.
Yeah, but that doesn't last very long, does it?
No, then he does something that makes him lose his connection, and he wakes up back in his body. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
He talks to someone, or
yeah. Well, then he gets annoyed that there's no bondsmith for him to learn from, and then the Stormfather says there is another bondsmith, and it's one of those heralds called one called Ishi or something like that.
Is that the crazy one? No, it's the priest one, or
yeah, I don't think it's the crazy one. But yeah, Dalinar needs to find him so he can learn some stuff about being a bondsmith from him.
Yeah, I think it's the one that's sort of like the cultist, and he's like convinced all his army that he's the god or something.
Yeah.
Fanatics. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Cool. And then a quote from the end. So
Final chapter is like one page long.
Yeah, and it was
intent matters. Go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've written. So you go and I'll see if I've got the same as you.
All right. Intent matters. Intent is king. You cannot do what I attempt by accident. You must mean it. This seems a much greater law than we've ever before understood.
Yep. All I've written about this chapter is that Ravenel was listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, this is a short chapter, and then it was even shorter than it looked.
Yeah. All right, cool. So then we go into the interlude. What was the illustration of? Starsprang or something like that, or?
Yeah, hang on. It was not Honor Spren, High Spren.
High Spren, okay. Oh,
yeah, which I don't even know.
Who's got a High Spren? Someone's got a High Spren. Seth does.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Because then that's why it's a Seth chapter straight away.
Yeah. Cool.
And this is Seth sort of guarding Dalinar and the young boy.
Yeah. Which is Seth's hilarious, I reckon. I love Seth. He's very funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, why isn't anything going wrong? I need to kill someone, and Nightblood. He called Seth. I actually know Seth calls the sword something different to Nightblood, but it's called Nightblood in the other book.
In Warbreaker.
Yeah.
He calls it Sword Nemi.
Nemi, yeah.
Sword Nemi. And the sword's a bit annoying. Is it as annoying in Warbreaker?
Yeah, a little bit. But
I mean, it's not annoying. Like, I do like it. It's just, it could be annoying. I guess that's what's good about Brandon Sanderson. A lot of the stuff I'm like, this is going to be annoying, but then it doesn't annoy me.
Yeah. I just like how the sword always wants to kill people.
Yeah.
And and how it just takes away all of your magic if you use it as well. And it also talks about Vasher. So Vasher is the guy that Kaladin fought with the clothes.
Yep, I was going to ask you about this.
Yeah,
because the sword refers to a lot of people that it might be in another chapter as well, but he refers to people that he's been held by, and I was going to say these are these Warbreaker people. Yeah.
So I can't remember what's the sword master's name? Zael.
Yeah.
So that Zael is Vasher. They're the same person.
Right. Cool.
And Viviana is Azuri. So we haven't seen her in this book, but she was with them in Shadesmere last book. Yeah. And Seth seems close to getting his Spren plate as well.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Because his Spren's talking about it, and Seth doesn't have any plate, and his Spren is like, if you say the next ideal, then you'll get the plate.
Oh yeah.
But you need to have your commitment via something other than Dalinar. It needs to be like a higher ideal. It needs to be
that's right. I forgot about that. What's his Spren called again?
I can't remember actually. Does it have a name? Might not even have a name.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't.
Bit weirder. Like he can't see his as much as the other people can, and that kind of stuff. Like, it kind of just breaks open reality a little bit.
And he finds out that Taravangians asked for an oath stone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't rate it at all.
No, because that's
was Taravangian using him? Was Taravangian employed him, right, or had him as a slave, killing all the other leaders so he could be the king?
Yeah, that's right. So he had Taravangian had the oath stone, and his plan was Seth was killing all the other kings. But Taravangian's name was also on the list. but his was last on the list. So by the time he theoretically got to Taravangian could just give him the Oath Stone and say, "Don't kill me."
That's right.
That was part of my plan, but it was just in case Seth got caught with the list, people wouldn't suspect it was Taravangian
because he was on the list. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Cool. Way back in the first book.
Yeah. The next interlude is this weird little dragon creature.
Yeah, which we've seen
has been in an interlude before, right?
Yes, but is it this book or is it the previous book?
It must have been a previous one, yeah.
Like Oathbringer or something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We had a little interlude of this guy before.
Yeah.
Becoming more smart.
Yeah. Cheery. And the old guy says Dawn Shards in it. The old trader.
Yeah.
Is that the novella we were supposed to read?
Yeah, which I haven't. I don't know where we had to read that because I've looked for it in bookstores and it's not there.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a part of it. Dawn Shard. Different? I think it was called Dawn Shard.
Right. I'm just going to quickly Google that now. I wasn't sure.
It might be a part of a novella or it might be a part of a compendium.
Yeah. Dawn Shard. 206 pages.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's called Dawn Shard. So,
yeah, I looked for it in Minotaur the other day.
Yeah, and it focuses on the merchants. So, these two people talking are definitely merchants. He was the one that got gifted the boats in a previous interlude.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, so.
So at the end of this, the little Cheery starts talking.
Yeah. But just really quickly, Dawn Shards, right? They must be the Dawn Singer's blades. That's
what I would thought.
Yeah. So they're like really, really ancient shard blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says feed me or something, right?
Yeah. So it's like he knows he's gonna have to start saying important stuff, but he's still hasn't awoken completely yet to whatever intelligence he has. He's still thinking about food and scratches a little bit.
Yeah. But he understands rhythms pretty well. So presumably...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So maybe it's a void sprint or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like locked in something. Anyway, I don't think that's going to be a major part of the book.
No. And so the next interlude was just called The Sword. And it was Taravangian again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
The title of it was The Sword.
Yeah. So that's talking about Nightblood, that's why.
Yeah. And so this is kind of Taravangian.
He's expecting Seth to arrive, but Renarian does instead.
Yeah. That's right.
So yeah. Not much from that conversation, but Seth is also there and kind of... I don't think Taravangian recognises him this time.
Not straight away. I think he does. Because the guard, why did you ask for the Oath Stone? And he says, I don't even know you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then Taravangian realises it's Seth.
Yeah. And then is it him that realises that Nightblood might be able to kill Odium? And Seth, does he tell Seth and Seth just walks away anyway? Or?
Yeah, Seth doesn't rate it. He doesn't trust him.
Yeah. But I believe that Nightblood will be able to kill Odium. Because that's what Azuri's after as well. She was like, I need to go find a talking sword at the end of Oathbringer.
So probably Renarian and Seth will team up in some way to harm Odium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that way Odium won't see
what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well,
and that's part 4 coming up. Adelin's going to be in this one. I see his name there on the little list.
Yep. Shallan as well.
Yep. Navani, Venli, Ashoni, and Bridge 4. No Kaladin. Kaladin's in the storm.
Man. Yeah. So he's just going to be hanging outside of a mountain for like the next 500 pages.
being sad.
Yeah, give me a break. Yeah, can't he at least get filled up with stormlight and fly off or something? Like,
that's what I was hoping. Yeah, but maybe not. Yeah. He might appear as a non-POV, but we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, Nirvana's in it, right? So, but I mean, he can't talk to people if he's outside either. So
no. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, that was the main thing I noticed from that. I was just like, okay, not much colour in this chapter then.
What chapter do you think we should read up to?
Yeah.
No Dalliner.
Yeah. No. I'm happy to take your advice on this. What are we up to now? We're up to like 73, aren't we?
Yeah, 73. So I'll just kind of use the book to go about halfway along and pick a chapter at random. It's worked all the other times. Yeah. Chapter 88.
88. All right, done.
Yeah, unless we can always change that if we decide that that's not a good spot.
Yeah.
And read a couple more.
Yeah. No, it's good. No, 88 cents. Oh, then why don't we just go to 90 then?
All right, make it 90. Yeah, why not? Even number.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, good.
Sweet. Well,
all right, well, we'll talk about it more then.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
No worries.
All right, enjoy your day.
You too.
See you, mate.